The night had begun like any other, the hum of neon lights, the smell of rain-soaked asphalt, and the low growl of a motorcycle slicing through the damp evening air. But within a few minutes, that ordinary night would turn into a scene of chaos, heartbreak, and unexpected redemption. No one at the small roadside diner could have imagined that a single misunderstanding, one impulsive act of anger, would change so many lives forever. The story that follows isn't just about a violent outburst, it's about pain, guilt, forgiveness, and how even in the darkest moments, the human heart can find light. Right finger if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of humanity. Take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Royal Stories. Your support helps us keep telling real, emotional stories that touch hearts. The night was cool and heavy with the scent of rain as Alex and his wife, Emily, pulled up to the Rusty Spoon Diner, a small, old-fashioned place off the highway. Alex was a biker. Not the loud, reckless kind, but the quiet one who found peace in the steady hum of his Harley. His leather jacket was worn from years of travel, his hands rough from work, and his eyes, deep and kind, often softened when they met Emily's. Emily, 6 months pregnant, was his entire world. Her laughter could melt away the heaviest of days, and even now, tired from the ride, she smiled, rubbing her belly as if calming the little life growing inside. They entered the diner, greeted by the clinking of dishes and the faint sound of country music playing through an old speaker. The diner was nearly empty, just a couple of truckers and a man sitting in the corner, staring blankly into his coffee. Behind the counter stood a young waiter named Sam. He was in his mid-20s, thin, with unkempt hair and eyes that carried a weight much older than his years. His uniform was stained, his hands trembling slightly as he poured coffee for another customer. No one knew that just an hour earlier, Sam had received a text message that shattered his world. His wife had left him, taking their 2-year-old son. As Alex and Emily took their seats, Sam forced a smile and approached their table. "Evening. What can I get you folks?" he asked, trying to sound polite, though his voice cracked with exhaustion. Emily smiled warmly and asked for something simple, soup and tea. Alex ordered a burger and fries, his tone gentle. But something about Alex's calm presence, his steady gaze, reminded Sam of the man his wife had left him for. The resemblance was faint but enough to reignite the storm inside him. As he turned away to place their order, anger boiled in his chest, unfair, misplaced anger. The food arrived after 20 minutes, but when Emily reached for her cup of tea, she winced. The cup was so hot that it burned her fingers. Alex immediately reached out, concerned. "Are you okay?" he asked softly, pulling the cup away. He turned to Sam, who stood nearby, his jaw tight. "Hey, man," Alex said calmly, "the tea's boiling, you should be careful serving that." His tone wasn't accusing, but Sam's fragile state twisted the words in his mind. To him, it sounded like mockery. That's when it happened. In a flash of anger, Sam slammed the tray down, shouting, "You think you're better than me." The diner went silent. Before anyone could react, Sam grabbed Alex by the collar, pushing him back. The chair toppled. Emily screamed, clutching her belly. The truckers jumped to their feet, and chaos erupted. Alex tried to stay calm, to de-escalate, but Sam's rage blinded him. He swung, and missed. Alex caught his arm mid-air, restraining him. "Stop. My wife. She's pregnant," Alex shouted, but in the struggle, Sam jerked away violently. His elbow caught Emily in the side. The sound that followed, Emily's soft cry, the thud of her body hitting the floor, would haunt every soul in that diner for years to come. Time froze. Sam stood motionless, his breath shallow, realizing what he had done. Alex knelt beside Emily, shaking, calling her name. "Emily, stay with me." Tears blurred his vision as he dialed for help with trembling hands. The other customers rushed forward, one of them grabbing napkins, another calling 911. Sam backed away, pale as a ghost, whispering, "I didn't mean to. I swear, I didn't." When the ambulance arrived, Emily was conscious but weak. Her hands clutched her belly protectively as she was lifted onto the stretcher. "Alex," she whispered, "don't be angry, please." He nodded, choking back tears, but his eyes burned with a mixture of love and fear. As the ambulance disappeared into the night, Sam collapsed to his knees outside the diner, sobbing uncontrollably. The police questioned everyone. Sam didn't resist arrest. He didn't speak. He just kept muttering the same words. "I didn't mean to hurt her." Days turned into weeks. Emily was hospitalized, but by some miracle, both she and the baby survived. The blow had caused complications, but the doctors managed to stabilize her. When Alex first saw her after surgery, he fell to his knees beside her bed, kissing her hand with tears streaming down his face. She smiled faintly, whispering, "Our little girl is strong, just like her father." But Alex couldn't shake the image of that night. The rage, the fear, the helplessness. He wanted justice, but deep down, he also saw something broken in Sam that reminded him of himself, a man once lost in anger after his own father's death. Sam, meanwhile, was tormented in his cell. He refused food, refused visitors. He wrote letters he never sent, apologizing over and over. His mother visited once, crying through the glass. "You made a terrible mistake, Sam," she said softly, "but don't let this mistake define who you are." Her words struck something deep within him. Months later, during the trial, Alex and Emily attended the hearing. Sam looked frail, his face gaunt, his eyes hollow. When asked if he had anything to say, he stood up and turned toward Alex and Emily. His voice trembled. "I can't ask you to forgive me. What I did was unforgivable. I lost control, and I nearly destroyed a family. I'm sorry. I will never stop being sorry." The courtroom was silent except for the sound of quiet sobs from the gallery. Emily looked at Alex, her eyes filled with tears. She reached for his hand and whispered, "Maybe forgiveness is the only way we move on." When it was Alex's turn to speak, he stood, voice thick with emotion. "I hated you for what you did," he said quietly. "But I saw the man you were that night, broken, lost. You didn't plan this. You were drowning in pain, just like I once was. I don't excuse you, but I forgive you." Gasps filled the courtroom. Even the judge looked moved. Sam broke down, sobbing openly. For the first time in months, a faint sense of peace settled over him. Sam was sentenced to 2 years for assault, but he used that time to change. He joined counseling, worked in the prison kitchen, and wrote a letter to Alex and Emily every month. Letters they didn't read right away, but kept. 2 years later, when he was released, Sam went to find work and rebuild his life. One day, while volunteering at a homeless shelter, he saw a familiar face, Alex, delivering food as part of a charity ride with his biker group. Their eyes met. Neither spoke at first. Then Alex stepped forward and extended his hand. "You're doing good work," he said. Sam shook it, his eyes glistening. "Trying to make up for the bad," he replied. Alex nodded. "We all are." Months later, Emily visited the shelter too, this time with their little girl, Lily. She looked up at Sam with innocent eyes and asked, "Are you my daddy's friend?" Sam smiled softly. "I hope so." And for the first time, his heart felt lighter. That single act of forgiveness didn't erase the pain, but it transformed it. It turned chaos into compassion, guilt into purpose. The night that once destroyed lives ended up creating something more powerful: understanding, healing, and hope. Right finger if this story touched your heart. Please like, share, and subscribe to Royal Stories. Leave a comment to tell us what part moved you most. Your words inspire us to keep sharing real, emotional stories that matter. Speech balloon special request. Before you go, write in the comments, "I believe in forgiveness." Let's fill the world with compassion, one story at a time.